Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Samarco, and I am here to give you one piece of advice that I gave myself 10 years ago. Written in the back of one of my many childhood journals is this: always go to Caroline for help. She knows everything. As someone who has known Caroline for the past 15 years, I can guarantee that this is true. Even when we were little, Caroline was the one who knew how to take care of a scraped knee, introduce you to new friends, and sat down and listened to the girl who was having a bad day. Not to mention that she had, and still does have, every day, baked goods to give to you. Without Caroline's incredible baking skills, warm smile, and compassionate friendship, the class of 2018 would truly be lost.
Every year, ever since I can remember, except in 2006 when I went to the Doodle Bops Live instead, I grab my warmest clothes and go south to Tylertown, Mississippi. As I grab my raincoats, sweatshirts, and blankets, I would wonder why Tylertown would get so cold if it's so south, why it always seems to be rainy, why the river is so cold. But these thoughts escape my mind when I am reminded of what's ahead in that little Mississippi town, past the rusty gate, the old wooden sign that reads, Bogachita Water Park. Despite being the most unconventional water park, one filled with cabins and fields and boat docks and woods, this pseudo water park has a huge piece of my heart. 4.5 hours and 300 miles of Interstate 55 separated me from the most blissful place in the world. Every year, my family and I go to the same place, with the same people, and we do the same things. I hate change. I always have and probably always will. So, while this may sound boring, it's part of what makes the trip so amazing. Every trip is full of laughter, hiking, steaks, and failed fishing attempts. There's the Friday night s'mores, the Saturday canoeing, followed by touch football, unless you're 12-year-old Caroline and you accidentally side tackle your big cousin Landon, and the Sunday morning beignets while reluctantly packing. It's always the same, and I love it. Like my dad told me the other day, there's comfort in consistency, and there is. So, every year as we drive away from the cabins and the fire and the river, I'm comforted by the fact that approximately 363 days from then, we will come back. This is the annual Landaiche family camping trip after all. Well, last year this wasn't so true. In August of 2016, my grandparents' and my aunt's homes in Baton Rouge flooded. When November rolled around and my grandparents were still living with my uncle, and my aunt and her family were still house hopping, we just knew the trip wasn't going to happen. While the flood is another story in itself, I'll just say it caused a lot of problems that were bigger than our camping trip. Nevertheless, I was devastated. Other than the infamous year of the Doodle Bops that I don't think I will ever live down, there was not another year of my life that I hadn't spent the weekend before Thanksgiving around the campfire with the majority of my family. I had a quick pity party and thought about the campfire and the s'mores and the stars. I thought about how my cousins Luke and Micah would have to wait another year to try and tip the canoe on purpose. I remembered the abandoned cabin in the woods that was sitting there waiting to scare my little cousins. After all of this thinking and letting myself get much too sad about a camping trip, I realized that change is not always a bad thing. Sure, we would miss a year of what my mom calls forced family fun, but it also gave me the opportunity to realize how much I love that weird little Mississippi town and how freakishly excited I am to visit in a couple weeks. While change is the only constant in life, a disturbing tidbit I learned in Doc's Humanities class this year, I'm slowly learning that there are ways to find comfort in this inconsistency. It took 4 feet of water in my family's homes and a canceled camping trip for me to realize how difficult you make things for yourself when you rely too much on consistency. Because of this, I've learned that many times the most rewarding things in life come from exploring the unfamiliar. Thank you.